If you like these videos, give them a thumbs up. We're going to cut to Lance. This is Lance Armstrong versus Greg LeMond. We're going to cut to the video very shortly. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give it a thumbs down. Warning, this video contains a lot of truth bombs. If you're a sensitive pedal with a bit of caffeine anxiety, click off this video now and go watch something made by Rafa. Otherwise, let's get into it. Anyway, let's cut. This is a 1990 Tour de France. I'm pretty sure it's 1990. And this looks like stage 16 to Louis Ardennes. And we've got Greg here on the front. Chiappucci's away in a breakaway. Chiappucci's in yellow. And Chiappucci is on some magic beans, all right? And so is LeMond. Look at LeMond. Look at this. Just look at LeMond's on a heavy-ass bike. He's got those Scott bars where he just got that shopping. He's got the shopping trolley extensions. He went to a Champion supermarket in Lyon somewhere and cut off a bit of shopping trolley and stuck it to his handlebars. So, he's going to be shopping trolley on his bike. I'm not sure why he's using those bars on this stage. But anyway, his bike was probably the heaviest in the bunch. And here we are here. We're going up. It's hot. They've been racing for 16 days and they're probably about 5 hours into the stage, I think, by this point. And they were grinding and gearing and hustling up the climb. It's sweaty. It's hot. And Greg LeMond is aiming to win the Tour de France. He's aiming to rip the Maillot Jaune off Claudio Chiappucci's. He's on the pot, the Belge pot. He's on everything. And Greg LeMond is going to grab that Maillot jersey and Maillot Jaune, the yellow jersey, the Maillot Johnny jersey. He's going to rip it off Chiappucci's back like he's ganking him at a train station in Brixton. All right, he's just going to grab that jersey, rip it off. He's got about a minute to drop. Look at this. Chiappucci's off the back. All right. So if Greg LeMond is on the front with the mindset, we're going to roll Chiappucci off the back. We're going to look at this. Chiappucci's exploded. Yes, he was in the break earlier, but he's the yellow jersey. He's Chiappucci, man, a gun climber for Carrera, like just a monster, all right? And Greg LeMond, look at this. Greg LeMond's on the front. He's got news that Chiappucci is off the back. He's grabbing those shopping trolley bars and he's just munching it up the climb. He's even looking back, saying, who's on here? We've got Induran. Delgurdo's in the hurt box. He didn't pop enough Ritalin meds. And this is how it is. Look at this. These guys run up the hill. This is how slow they're going. They're probably doing about 18k an hour. This is steep, hard climbing. And you got Greg LeMond. He's not in the shopping trolley stage yet. Look at this. People just getting popped out the back. So Greg's just turned up the heat. Slapped it in the big dog. Looks like one of his teammates there. He's going to mark the other rider. Is that Delgado in the... It looks like Delgado's off the back there. So Delgado is from Spain, right? If you're from Spain, you got the, Spain, mate. Spain, all right? Spain. If you're beating Spanish riders back in 1990, you weren't clean, all right? You just weren't, man. This is how it is. So Greg LeMond, look at him, out the saddle. He's reminiscent of Lance Armstrong. He's got the Lance Armstrong vibe. Lance Armstrong wanted to be Greg LeMond. And Lance Armstrong became Greg LeMond, and he surpassed Greg LeMond by far. And Greg didn't like that, right? Here we have this whippersnapper from Texas, the single mum kid with no real father figure, wanting to make it in pro cycling, to get approval, to get status, to get money, to get fame, to get pussy. And he did all those things. And Greg LeMond was like the yardstick. Everyone inspired by Greg. The LeMond bikes, the Oakley M-frames and the blades and all that stuff. Greg LeMond was like the hipster, man, of cycling. Look at him. He looks cool. He's good looking. He's got his tan. He's got his rainbow jersey zipped up halfway. And he's just got those iridium Oakleys, man. He's got iridium Oakleys, all right? This stuff is like marketing wet dream. And so Lance was inspired by Greg. He became Greg, went past him. Greg was a stepping stone. Greg didn't like it, all right? Lance did the same template. He went to Europe. He juiced. He trained his heart and soul into cycling. He sacrificed his life, everything, his safety, his health. He did everything that Greg LeMond did. And Greg LeMond turns around in 2000 or so and says, Lance Armstrong. What do you think about Lance? The media said. Lance Armstrong. Is he either the greatest inspiration in sporting history or he's the greatest fraud? And they're like, what? I remember reading that quote thinking, man, that's bad business, dude. Your company, LeMond, is part owned or owned by Trek Bikes, and they're Lance's main sponsor. Lance can crush you like a mosquito. He can crush you, Le Mans, like you crushed all the Spanish dopers in that 1990 Tour de France. on your Lake Tahoe water and Oregon peaches. I don't think so. With your shop and trolley bars from the Champion supermarket. All right, so, and that's just the reality, man. That is just the cold, hard truth. Greg LeMond was not natty. He was not natty. And all these people out there, you go to see my Greg LeMond videos when I'm trying to I'm not trashing Greg, you know. I've got no hate against any of these people. I'm just spitting truth, okay? If you think out there that Greg LeMond was ripping Claudio Chiappucci's scrotum sack with his shop and trolley bars up Louis Artisan in stage 16 in 1990 and doing it natty on Tahoe water and Oregon peaches and figs, all right? And Lake Klamath spirulina shakes. It ain't happening, man. And now we have Indurain. Indurain's been sitting on the whole way, getting that draft, all right? Getting that draft, saving the watts. Now he's going to go for the stage win. Now he's just going to ride away from Greg in a minute. Greg is just, you know, he's doing all the work. And if you've ever done a draft, you know what drafting's like. You're saving watts. So Indurain's a few inches taller than LeMond. And he's riding away now. People, oh, look at that. This is EPO. No. This is both these guys on EPO in this picture. They're both on blood doping. They're both on amphetamines. They're both on steroids, okay, for recovery and performance. So now Indurain is riding away. He's clapping his hands. He's like, yeah, hola, my name is Indurain. And look, Greg's only a few seconds away, all right? And Greg's been doing all the work. Indurain's been sitting on saving 30 to 40 to 80 watts if there's a bit of wind, which is huge. If you save 10 watts up a climb, that's huge. All right, so look how unfatigued Greg is. This is seconds after. The media pack's on there. He's got his soft drink for the sugars. And he looks pissed more than tired, doesn't he? He's like, oh, I didn't win the stage. He looks pissed more than tired. He's like, did I get the yellow? Look at that. Yeah, he's just like he's under a spin workout. He's not even sweating that much. This is in the heat. So if you think that Greg LeMond was natty, you are, my friends, highly, highly delusional. Lance was on the Magic Beans. Greg was on those Lake Tahoe Magic Beans. Lake Tahoe Magic Beans. Everyone is on the Magic Beans, bro. Just how it is in pro sport. It's entertainment, people. It's entertainment. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Tour de France. And we got 2000 Tour de France. We've got Ulrich there on the left. We've got Festina rider, looks like Balocchi and Patero, and that's Lance in the yellow just ripping away. Pantani's just up the road there, and that's Escartine. No, that's Patero, the Colombian climber. You know, Patero used to live in Colombia, and it was so crazy back there when he used to live. He used to have to just do a training block up and down the perimeter of the airport he lived by because it was just so dangerous to train anywhere else. So that's the headspace Patero was coming out of, like, you know, hardcore. Wanting to make money, doing whatever it takes to get there. So we've got Pantani up the road here in the pink, and Lance Armstrong. Just give me a little nose itch here. Lance Armstrong dancing like Lance. All right, this is the 2000 Tour de France. This is iconic. This put Lance. Look at this speed. He's like a Californian cop on the PCH about to pull over an Italian tourist for no helmet. You know, like, it's just insane, the pace. He just bridges the gap, and he's like, all right, Elefantino, let's work together, put you on the front. Now, Pantani's come back, to give some context to this video, Pantani's come back from, you know, a doping violation, which, hey, let's be honest, you know, if you want to be a top athlete, you got to get a good doctor. So Pantani had been kicked from the sport, he felt rejected, he felt, you know, hurt. So Lance, being Lance, who wants to hold the omerta strong, keep people's vibe going, he's like, let's give Pantani a bit of a rise up. So he gifted Pantani the stage. Lance didn't feel that was appreciated, and then that started a bit of banter, a bit of war. So Pantani, being the fragile character he is, he's Italian. That's natural for a lot of Italians. Just saying, you know, just how it is. It's just a culture. It's just a lot of drama, a lot of passion, a lot of, you know, pizza margarita. So it's just the issues we have in. Natasha's laughing at the background at some joke. But so look at this. Lance Armstrong's pacing Pantani. Lance Armstrong could have gone way faster. Like, if you can bridge the gap and drop the world's best climbers on the world's best beans, like they're just warriors, like they're groupies on a training ride at Turn Under or whatever. If you can just do that and then bridge across to Pantani, who's got the record for outdoors, and you can be loose enough, like, oh, I'm just going to slow down here, Pantani can take the win, and we'll just pretend that's just how it is. That's some serious talent, right? That's some Lance was on some next level talent. You know, he had next level drive. Lance was just gangster. Everyone's on the EPO, everyone's on the Magic Beans, Everyone's on the Dr. Ferrari orange juice diet, all right? It's just how it is in pro sports, running, swimming, soccer, part of the deal. Lance just had the X factors. People are like, oh, hang on, Harley, how come you love Lance? You know, you critique everyone else, but Lance gets the free ride. And it's like, well, yeah, but cycling's different. You know, like football, baseball, basketball. You know, everyone knows that, you know, you got to take good stuff to get going. The issue with these fake natties on YouTube like Athlete X and Matt Does Fitness, they're defrauding teenage boys from their allowance money. They go and buy a coach from, you know, Matt Does Fitness or Athlete X or whatever, and they're thinking they're going to get muscular. In actual fact, they're not ever going to get those results because those gurus on YouTube are taking the juice and they're lying to their teen audience. So that's what I don't like. Lance, Zula, AD Hermatiker, I don't care because it's pro sport and they're here to entertain, all right? I get it. They're not defrauding anyone, all right? When I buy a Trek bike, I'm not going to think I'm going to be Lance Armstrong. I know everyone knows that. No 40-year-old mammal goes and buys a Madone thinking they're going to win the world championship. No one does. They buy a Madone because like, oh, it's a work of art and it rides nice and blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's why they're doing it. So that's my issue there. I don't care if athletes take juice. I get it, all right? On this, Mancebo, Armstrong, Zabel, Botero. Everyone's on the magic beans. Just how it is. Now let's get to Greg LeMond because people are like, well, hey, Greg LeMond was natty. He was clean. Greg LeMond was as dirty as a toilet at Champs-Élysées New Year's Day, right? He was... EPO came out on the market in 87, right? EPO was on the market in 87 to treat anemia, okay? And anyone in pro sport is always ahead of the game. There's people working pharmacy that they want to sell some product on grey market, black market, you know, yellow market, whatever you want to call it, Malio Jaune market. And these products are hitting market, right? Way beyond they're hitting their industry market, I should say. Excuse me. Too many bananas. So we've got Lance Armstrong. This looks like 99. So look how skinny he looks. Super lean. Looks like you're on the durianrider diet. Rice, fruits, sugar, starches. He actually was doing a bit of a vegan diet back then, believe it or not. He was carving up a lot. So we have Lance Armstrong here. All right. So Greg LeMond claims he was the only American to win a Tour de France. Nah, Greg. You also juiced. Lance also juiced. Lance got busted. Actually, no, he didn't, but he owned up to it because he had to. But Greg, you also were juiced, and we're going to prove that very soon, okay, Greg? All right, and you were massively jealous of Lance, and I understand why, because Lance won the Tour in 99, became like the fairy tale of cycling. He became the monster, the maestro, the boss, all right? He become, he just became the boss, man. Lance Armstrong is the greatest of all time cycling, no doubt about it. The marketing he had, the pussy he was getting in from California and Georgia, shipped in there, the Savannah girls, it was just part of the deal. Let's have a look at the Palmars here. This is Greg LeMond. Now, Greg LeMond claims he never used anything other than a couple of iron injections post-shooting accident. All right. 84, third in Tour de France, second in Tour de France, and then wins it in 86, all right? And then EPO comes in 87, and in 89 he wins, 90 he wins, in 91 7th. Now everyone's on EPO by the 91 Tour. Everyone's on the juice, all right? Just how it is. And so Greg LeMond's Palmars is incredible. This is in Europe where it was dirty on dirty, where drugs were just overflowing in the biddens, all right? This is just like everyone's juicing back in the day. It's just like a rave party on wheels. And Greg LeMond, our little boy from Oregon, he's going, hey man, I've just drank spring water from Lake Tahoe and eat some organic figs from my grandma's tree. I don't take anything. Lance Armstrong, he's a dirty boy. Lance Armstrong's a naughty boy. Lance saw Dr. Ferrari and he's a naughty boy. No, Greg, mate, you had your own versions of Dr. Ferrari wherever you were, Switzerland or whatever, right? Just admit it, man. Right? You were not clean at all. So when look at this. This is the 1990 Tour de France, I think it is. And Lone Fignon, who was juiced out of his gill. Actually, it was 89. Delgado's juiced. Gert was juiced. Motte juiced. Rooks is Sean Kelly. All these people were juiced, and they were finishing way back. And this is the 91 where the EPO really leveled it out. And Luc LeBlanc, Lone Fignon, Greg LeMond's still up there. Delgado's behind. The dude who got busted for taking too many Ritalin pills is behind Greg LeMond. You know what I mean? So when Greg's saying he's natty and he's only finishing 13 minutes down for whatever reason, Miguel, That's just not